Back now to our top story and breaking details tonight on these secret documents that suggest Sergeant Bergdahl had converted to Islam and enjoyed what seemed to be a friendly relationship with his captors during his captivity. Was the Senate told about this in their classified briefing last night? Marco Rubio is a Florida Republican and member of the Senate's Foreign Relations and Intelligence Committee. Senator, good of you to be here.
Thank you.
Is this something that's been discussed and well known?
Well, I want to be informative and responsive. I want to be careful because both as a member of the Intelligence Committee and then last night we've been made aware of classified information. But let me just say that the substance of this report that you've reported, I've asked questions that are specifically on point, and the answers that I got directly contradict or dispute what you have been reporting this evening. So clearly, if this happens to be true, we've got a very serious problem with the administration misleading members of Congress, because the question that I asked was right on point with what you're reporting here tonight.
Because it's also been reported, and our James Rosen's been leading the way on this earlier this week, that the CIA has a major file on Bergdahl, that they've been investigating it, and that many in the intel community have serious concerns about whether he did actually collaborate in some way with the Taliban. And you know, if he did, you can understand the reasons why that'll all be discussed when he gets back, right? I mean, Stockholm Syndrome, to try to save his own life, what was it? But it would certainly raise the specter for us in watching him when he comes back, right? Yeah. And it would also perhaps change the equation on, you know, is it worth it?
Well, let me just say, again, I have asked questions specifically on point. In essence, the answer that I got directly contradicts what you're reporting tonight. So if this turns out to be true, the administration has lied not just to me, but to the other members that were present at those hearings. As far as the equation is concerned, irrespective of this reporting, and we have a process within the military to deal with all of this, and I imagine that will move forward, you've just released 5 extremely dangerous people who, in my opinion, and the opinion of all the assessments I have seen, will rejoin the battlefield. At least 4 of the 5, if not all 5. You can anticipate that very shortly we'll be back involved in the fight against America and our allies.
But the president says we leave no man behind. And, you know, I think even if Americans have mixed feelings about Bo Bergdahl, and many believe he deserted his platoon mates, you have to ask whether we should have left him there to rot just because he made a terrible decision.
Well, I think the president should have done everything possible to get him back, short of endangering the national security of the United States and short of endangering the lives of other servicemen and women by the thousands that are still out there serving us, who have now become attractive or more attractive targets for the Taliban, for the Haqqani network, and for any other.
And the Taliban spoke out today to Time magazine and said that they are encouraged now to take more hostages, given how this has worked out. But why do you think the president did it, knowing at least what he knew about these 5 terrorists and how dangerous they were? Because that's been well documented. Why did he do it?
I have no doubt why they did it. Beyond the issue of trying to get this gentleman returned to his family, beyond that, I am convinced that this was part of an overall messaging strategy for domestic consumption last week. If you recall, he traveled to Afghanistan on Monday, which was fine. That's appropriate for the president to do. Then he gave his speech at West Point, talking about how the war in Afghanistan was over. And then this was supposed to be what was going to cap off the week, in the hopes of reinvigorating the president's image domestically as a great leader.
They misread the public on this one.
They sure did.
Senator, good to see you.
Thank you.